Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
All right, of course, we want to welcome everyone currently on the inside. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. Folks, this is what we call news discussed, not told. And of course, we're just having a discussion about what's making the news. So how are you doing? As usual, we just have to do this. Big up our first-time viewers on the program, and as well the usual suspects. That's the people who are always on here. We say hello to you and welcome. Let's take a look at what's making the headlines tonight. We're not staying too long tonight. IRD officers to be district revenue offices accommodating taxpayers, as they conduct their business. Labor Minister disclosed the Labor Commissioner has been dismissed. And minimum wage currently being reviewed. We'll talk to you more about that. Local attorney has a message for young men of our nation. And gunmen, they have left footballer Messi with a message. It's like a death threat. All right, from Argentina. Imagine the man who was, continued to put his country on the map. His countrymen are sending death threats to him. Interesting, right? Interesting. Folks, we'll take a look at all of that and more when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program. We got to let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Courts Grenada Limited, Digicel and Wasa, the Housing Authority of Grenada, Real Value IGA Supermarket, Superb Distributors, Infinite Contractors. Folks, when we come back, it could be real news in Olelili Lolo. And don't forget, someone sharing tonight's program will receive some free credits, compliments, Digicel, and that lucky person might just be you. We'll be back.
Somebody call Waggy because
this is madness, total madness.
Sunday, March 5th from 5 p.m. The National Stadium comes alive as Megaforce Promotion presents its first big event for 2023. March Madness Mega Bingo.
And you can win
a whopping $100,000 in cash.
Wait, is $100,000 you just said it?
Yes, $100K in cash could be yours. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. You gotta be mad to miss that. Remember, Sunday, March 5th, National Stadium. Get ready for March Madness Mega Bingo.
This is madness, total madness.
We got the call on our way home that something was wrong. When we got here, we saw that the entire house was engulfed in flames. Just sitting there and looking at you, basically your whole life investment going up in flames. It did take a toll on us as a family. Once we decided to rebuild, the thought came up to use the Housing Authority of Grenada. After they sent in their quotation, which we thought was very, very reasonable, we decided to go with Housing Authority of Grenada. They were very helpful. They visited the site weekly. The staff was very professional. The contractor was very professional. They delivered our house on time. The quality of work was amazing. And as you can see today, we are not disappointed. I would definitely recommend Housing Authority of Grenada for all your construction needs. With their affordable costs, high level of customer service, guidance, and building expertise, they will help you as they help us.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only. All right, family, welcome again. Let's start our discussion for today. The first thing that we have to tell all you about, the Inland Revenue Division has sent out notice informing the public that its officers from the division will be at the district revenue offices as of Monday, and their purpose is to accommodate taxpayers to conduct their business. Now, taxpayers, you will be given an opportunity to register your businesses, file tax returns, obtain information on the clarity or on the tax. Man, I don't know what's going on with this thing. I don't know. I tried everything. It's not battery. It's not signal. It's just that sometimes during the course of the program, it just does this thing. I really don't know if the mouse is clapping, which I don't even know, man. I don't try to. All right, let's see. We should be good now. And when I'm testing it, right? When I'm testing it, when I'm testing it, no issues whatsoever. 1 second. Yeah, so I don't really know what to say, but anyway. Right, so the taxpayers, you'll be given an opportunity to register your businesses, file tax returns, obtain information on the tax amnesty, and sign on to payment agreements or arrangements, file objections for property tax, and obtain clarity or information on any other tax-related matter. Now, there'll be from Monday, all right? So Mondays, officers will be at St. David and Grenville district offices, Carriacou Tuesday, St. Patrick and Guelph on Wednesdays, and St. Mark on Thursdays. All right. I think that's a really good initiative where they can come out and have the little discussion, and because sometimes people are not sure as to what to do, how to do it, and that cause a delay, and then sometimes you end up losing a whole year, you know. And then then there'll be penalties that's associated with your delay. However, I think that's the purpose of the whole amnesty thing right now they have going, so that person who have made the mistake of not filing for any particular year, you will get the opportunity to just pay the tax and they are waiving the penalties. All right, so I guess that should be good. In cases where you have accumulated so many years of non-payment, you'll have probably a higher amount to pay. You can speak with them in relation to some sort of payment plan. All right, so I think that's a good idea. We should be having folks from the tax office speak with us. I believe it's on Monday. We're going to try to see if we can get that, and we're going to have a whole program. Well, not a whole program, but we're going to try to see how we can speak to them as much as possible relating to this. All right, good. Now, the Grenada government, they have disclosed that it's going back to the drawing board to find a new labor commissioner. That's after they are saying now that the person who was in that position is no longer holding that position, according to Honorable Claudette Joseph. And I understand that's the Minister for Labor. There was a news conference today, and she made she made the public aware of this new development.
We have been working for the last 4 months, but upon review of the state of the relationship as requested by the Public Service Commission, it was decided by the Commission and the Ministry that it will be best for us to go back to the drawing board with in our search for a labor commissioner that fits with the personnel and also with our general outlook as we seek to take steps to enhance the labor climate in Grenada for workers, for employers, and specifically for the members of staff at the Labor Ministry who are delivering on the services to our stakeholders. So we have ended the relationship, and we will go back to the drawing board with a new labor commissioner to be announced in the not too distant future.
All right, so you would remember that that new commissioner was appointed, I think it was about 4 or so months ago. Now, Sparkle Grenade Courtney, who is currently the deputy, will be performing the functions of the commissioner as stated by the minister.
By the statute, the Employment Act, in the absence of the Labor Commissioner, the Deputy Labor Commissioner performs the functions. As such, Deputy Commissioner Sparkle Grenade Courtney will be performing the functions of Labor Commissioner, and of course she's no stranger to the ministry, having served in the post of Labor Officer there some years ago before being transferred to other divisions within the government of Grenada, including the Department of Public Administration most recently.
Thank you very much. All right, there. So, Olia, we're moving on. So the next thing that we have to tell Olia about, boy, is as it relates to the minimum wage. Now that is currently being reviewed, and imagine that probably we will have a change in what the minimum wage is probably by January of 2024. That was alluded to in this morning's press conference by, again, Honorable Claudette Joseph. You know, it's been a talking point relating to what is the minimum amount that any worker, whether it's government or private sector, can legally work for here in Grenada. This new government said that this is something that they will be reviewing, and so we were given an update as it relates to that from the minister.
In relation to the minimum wages, you will recall a few months ago we had a small press launch of the Minimum Wages Advisory Committee, and their task really is to review and upgrade the minimum wages offered to specific categories of workers in Grenada. The last review of minimum wages was in 2011. And I am happy to report that the work of the Wages Advisory Committee is coming on quite nicely under the guidance of Dr. Curlin Gilchrist. And we are at the stage where, during the course of this month, the committee will be engaging the public and stakeholders in consultations to get a view from the relevant stakeholders on the whole subject of enhancing the minimum wage itself and broadening the categories of persons covered by the minimum wages order, which will be upgraded after the committee's work is done. So during this month, the Minimum Wages Committee will be engaging the public sector through the Senior Management Board of the Public Service, the Department of Public Administration, and the government negotiating team. They are now in discussions with the unions. Also the Ministries of Finance and Economic Development, and also Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation, among others. In relation to the private sector, the committee will be engaging with manufacturers, then persons in the tourism sector, the services sector, the creative industry, agriculture, construction, and there will be general public town hall meetings. So we look forward to this work, and we look forward to the committee by the middle of this year by May actually, submitting its final report to Cabinet, and by June, July, the actual statutory instrument, the minimum wages order, should be completed and ready for publication, with the hope that by January 2024, the new minimum wages will take effect in Grenada.
Thank you very much, and I thought that important to give you that entire statement there from the Honorable Minister. Yesterday we were telling you about two young men that got into trouble with relations to sexual conduct involving minors. And we had the local attorney Jerry Edwin, suggesting that a different approach should be taken with regards to sex education. In other words, he was suggesting that instead of being reactive, let's be proactive, teaching sex education to our children at a very young age. And then he had some suggestions with regard to the banana and the sauce up. I ain't going back there tonight. Tonight he has a message for young men of our nation, and by extension, men in general.
And one thing we should always remember is that at sentencing, a social inquiry report prepared by the probation department is the tool the court uses to inquire, who is this defendant? What about this young man? How should I sentence him? And more importantly, what is that young man's reputation? We may have no money in our pockets today and a whole mint full of dollars tomorrow. And by Friday, we're broke. Not so with your reputation. You may not have clothes on your back, but one thing you have from birth till death is your reputation. The way you carry yourself in the community, the way you interact. Are you a respectful person? Are you a delinquent? Are you a drunk? Young men, I admonish you, carry yourself in such a manner that if, as fate would have it, you end up before the High Court, that the best things will be said about you by the people in the community, because it's a slippery slope from a bad reputation to a long-term tenancy at the Richmond Hill prison. So I urge you young men, carry yourself in a way that you can hold your head high, and if as fate have it you end up in the High Court, well, there is some good that can be said about you, but that is not necessarily the case, sadly, for many defendants who come before the High Court.
This is a very profound message coming from the local attorney. Now, we are moving on. Imagine that. Imagine. He has done his best to make his country proud. And Gunmen left a threatening message on Thursday for Argentine football superstar Lionel Messi and opened fire at a supermarket that is owned by his in-laws in Argentina's third largest city. Now, nobody was injured in the early morning attack, and it was unclear why the assailants would target Messi or the Unico supermarket in Rosario that is owned by the family of his wife. Now, the city's mayor, Pablo Jacquin, lashed out at the federal authorities over what he called their failure to curb a surge in drug-related violence in Rosario. That's located about 190 miles northwest of the capital of Buenos Aires. Now, police said 2 men on a motorcycle fired at least a dozen shots into the supermarket branch. You understand? And then they left a message on a piece of cardboard that read, "Messi, we're waiting for you." Jacquin is also a drug trafficker, so he won't take care of you on court. You understand? You understand? Now, Messi was the captain of the national team that won last year's World Cup for Argentina for the first time in 36 years, has not made any comment. You understand? Which he should not. You know, just leave it alone. One would wonder why. This man has busted his butt for you. Why would you want to target his life and that of his family? Anyway, lay that talk right there. We are moving on. All you. St. Lucia has a new police chief. Yes, St. Lucia has a new police commissioner. Why are you telling me this, Mikey? I'm telling you this because it's a woman.
Cressida Descott-Pellews is no longer acting and is now officially the first female police commissioner of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, who announced the historic acting appointment in October last year, on Tuesday disclosed the confirmation of a promotion to the post of commissioner. But how long will she serve in office given reports that the veteran senior officer is months away from retirement?
The police commissioner has been appointed. She is the police commissioner, and then she has been appointed until June this year.
The confirmation comes as the island grapples with an upswing in gun violence. 3 people were shot fatally on Independence Day.
This is something that worries me, worries us, worries the entire country, and the police are trying their best. But as you know, these shootings are very, 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 very difficult to deal with. Very difficult. Because if you notice, it looks like revenge, it looks like retaliation, but we are working on that.
Opposition leader Alan Chasney has sharply criticized the incumbent SLP administration's handling of crime. But the Prime Minister believes there is a credibility gap as his predecessor is concerned. He has vowed to continue to devote more resources to law enforcement.
The crime situation does not please anybody. The crime situation does not make anyone happy. What we're doing is we're giving the police force the necessary resources. It's a work in progress. It didn't start now. It's been there for a long time. It's a work in progress.
According to the opposition leader yesterday, what what your administration is doing in terms of providing resources.
The opposition leader presided over a country where there was a zero balance for police training, zero.
Prime Minister Pierre, who also has the portfolio for national security and finance, has promised an increased allocation for security and defense in this year's budget, which is just weeks away. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Rakim and the HTS News team. Family, we're taking a quick break and we will come back. And when we so do, we've got the national report and the weather for you. And don't forget, please go ahead and share the business. Share the thing, man. Share the business.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Concerned about your general health and wellness?
Do you need to know your complete blood count, lipid profile, or HbA1c?
Maybe you need to get a renal, thyroid, or liver function test.
Interested in STI screening for HIV, syphilis, herpes, chlamydia, or gonorrhea?
All of these tests, plus hundreds more, are available at Allied Laboratories.
Allied Laboratories welcomes you. You can find us here on Gladstone Road in Grenville, in the building next to Calico, on the second floor, adjacent to Dr. Isaac's office. Or you can find us here on Grand Anse Main Road, adjacent to South Winds, opposite the entrance of Excel Plaza. Contact our Grenville branch at 410-3488 or 419-1588 or send us an email at alliedlabgrenville@gmail.com. You can contact our Grand Anse branch at 403-3488 or 404-3488 or send us an email at alliedlabstgeorge@gmail.com.
Fit for life and Allied Laboratories. We're taking care of Grenada.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Somebody call Waggy because
this is madness, total madness.
Sunday, March 5th from 5 p.m. The National Stadium comes alive as Megaforce Promotion presents its first big event for 2023. March Madness Mega Bingo.
And you can win
a whopping $100,000 in cash.
Wait, is $100,000 you just said it?
Yes, $100K in cash could be yours. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. You gotta be mad to miss that. Remember, Sunday, March 5th, National Stadium. Get ready for March Madness Mega Bingo. go. This is madness, total madness.
We got the call on our way home that something was wrong. When we got here, we saw that the entire house was engulfed in flames. Just sitting there and looking at basically your whole life investment going up in flames. It did take a toll on us as a family. Once we decided to rebuild, the thought came up to use the Housing Authority of Grenada. After they sent in their quotation, which we thought was very, very reasonable, we decided to go with Housing Authority of Grenada. They were very helpful. They visited the site weekly. The staff was very professional. The contractor was very professional. They delivered our house on time. The quality of work was amazing. And as you can see today, we are not disappointed. I would definitely recommend Housing Authority of Grenada for all your construction needs. With their affordable costs, high level of customer service, guidance, and building expertise, they will help you as they help us.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only. Batteries. All roads lead to Quality Services Limited for the best deals on batteries for all applications: cars, SUVs, pickups, buses, medium and heavy duty trucks, construction equipment, generators, boats, and more. European made with the highest amps and comes with a 12-month warranty. Yes, you heard it right. 1 year with the best quality and price. Quality Services Limited for the best deals on batteries. First left of the Lansopines Road. Call 444-4323 or WhatsApp 410-8070 or 405-7010. Quality Services Limited for all batteries.
Anywhere at any time and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
No frills, just great prices at Courts. We don't just talk about it, we got it. Get the best in quality and prices on appliances, electronics, furniture, and much more. Up to 60% off store-wide. Protect your payment for up to 4 years with Super Shield. Shop with no cash and pay us later. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer ends March 31st, 2023.
Government assures that fiscal measures will not hinder projected growth. We'll have the details to this story and more in the National Report.
Grenada. The time for the national census is here again. Interviewers will be visiting your homes to gather information about you and your family. The data you provide determines budget allocation for health, grant funding for community projects, and government assistance for families and the elderly. The census is required by law, and so is your participation. We assure you that your information will be kept confidential. Do your part. Stand up and be counted, because we all count in this census. For more information about the census and your participation, contact the Grenada Central Statistical Office at 440-1369 or cso@cso.gov.gd.
Welcome back. With the details to the news for Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, I am Sherry-Ann Noel. Government says the implementation of fiscal measures from March 1st will in no way hinder projected growth for 2023. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Mike Sylvester, told GIS on Thursday that the decision taken by government to increase value-added and excise taxes on items and reduce on others will not obstruct revenue collection and growth projections for the year. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell first announced the measures during the presentation of the 2023 budget in December. Some of the measures due to logistical concerns were delayed from January and February and implemented on March 1st, 2023. P.S. Sylvester explained that government's intention is to encourage countermeasures to promote revenue generation and healthy lifestyles.
The sugary beverages and so on, we estimate that will generate about $6.4 million. Now, as I said initially, the measure is more so a health impact. And in some respect, it in other words, it's a countermeasure for the exemptions that have been provided. Because as we mentioned earlier, the government full package is about $30 million that you're basically giving up by virtue of the measures that were implemented. So with the tax on or increasing tax on sugary beverages, while it is clearly a health measure, it will generate about $6.4 million in that context. Yeah. I mentioned the increase in alcohol, that's the excess of alcohol and cigarettes and so on. The estimate of my head, I just can't figure just at my head, but off my head, I think it's about 3.4 million there, but that we estimated that will generate in terms of additional revenues. But in a general sense, the measures that were implemented were to achieve revenue neutrality. In other words, while you take out some in the one context, you then basically have a countermeasure that will provide the additional revenue. So you don't find yourself in a position where you are actually losing significant revenue and you cannot meet your commitments at the end of the year.
Effective March 1st, government implemented the additional 5% tax increase on sweetened beverages. However, drinks with 100% natural fruit and vegetable juices and those sweetened with honey are among products exempted from the additional tax.
There are some exemptions, as you would see in the SRNO or the Statutory Rules and Order. So the increase in 5% increase in tax will not apply to 100% natural fruit and vegetable juices. It would not apply to juices that are sweetened by natural sweeteners like honey and stevia and some of these other natural products. You will have some of these drinks that are used in for nutritional support. They will not be applied on that. Also, drinks that are used as in terms of sports drinks and so on, as supporting rehydration and so on. The additional tax will not apply on that. Also, milk and soya used in infant preparation, and also some of those juices that are for infant use. Some of the exemptions that would apply on the 5% increase.
The increase in excise tax on alcoholic beverages, the 100% concession on production equipment to support the creative economy, as well as income tax on lottery winnings over $10,000 were also implemented effective March 1st.
An increase from $1.10 and $4.40 to you have $5, so $1.50 and $5. Right, and just to make the point that is on basically an alcohol that you consume, so it doesn't apply to alcohol-based products like rubbing alcohol, methylated spirits, hand sanitizer, and so on. That's important to note. There is also an additional measure that was implemented. In fact, it was enacted back in 2014, and that is a 15% withholding tax on lottery winnings in excess of $10,000. So if you were to win in a lottery and you win $10,500, there will be a 15% withholding tax on the $500. Yeah, that was enacted back in 2014. For some reason, it was never implemented, and so that implementation will take effect from the 1st of March. Because the act should have taken effect on the date it was enacted, there is no need for an additional commencement date and so on. So basically, it's to advise when that will take effect.
Moving along, the Wage Advisory Committee is making significant progress in addressing minimum wage concerns for public officers and workers. Legal Affairs, Labor and Consumer Affairs Minister, Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph, says public and stakeholder consultations will be held during the month to determine a decent minimum wage for the country. The Wage Advisory Committee was established late last year and is chaired by economist Dr. Curlin Gilchrist. The last review of the minimum wage was done in 2011. Senator Joseph says government wants to have the minimum wage issue addressed by January 2024, and from all indications, the committee is on target with the timeline.
During this month, the Minimum Wages Committee will be engaging the public sector through the Senior Management Board of the Public Service, the Department of Public Administration, and the government negotiating team. They are now in discussions with the unions. Also the Ministries of Finance and Economic Development, and also Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation, among others. In relation to the private sector, the committee will be engaging with manufacturers, then persons in the tourism sector, the services sector, the creative industry, agriculture, construction, and there will be general public town hall meetings. So we look forward to this work, and we look forward to the committee by the middle of this year by May actually, submitting its final report to Cabinet, and by June, July, the actual statutory instrument, the minimum wages order, should be completed and ready for publication, with the hope that by January 2024, the new minimum wages will take effect in Grenada.
The Legal Affairs Minister further explained that the committee intends to, from consultative process, broaden the scope of the minimum wage and not have it remain limited to certain occupations. Consideration will also be given to the creation of equity among genders and geographic location.
The considerations that the committee will be taken into account in engaging in the consultations is that we aim at the end of the process to regularize or to equalize minimum wages across parishes and gender. As you know, as it stands now under the current minimum wages order, in some respects, the agricultural workers, women are paid less than men. In some parishes, so a bartender in St. Patrick gets a lower minimum wage than a bartender in St. George. So these are the matters the committee is looking at, and we are hoping to bring equity in terms of gender and locale for all workers in Grenada. The hope, too, is to broaden the scope of the minimum wages order to include occupations in the media, for example, because you are not part of the minimum wages order now. So media workers, workers in ICT, the creative industry, and any other occupations that may arise either in the private or public sector during the consultations that will be held.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Have you noticed an increase or decrease in your electricity bill? You know that changes in the fuel and non-fuel rates affect your bill. You should also be aware that changes in household activities affect your bill. Ask yourself these questions. Have the rates changed? Have there been more people at your home? Have your children been on holiday? Have you used your fan or air conditioning unit more often to beat the heat? Are any of your electrical appliances or equipment faulty? Have you added any new appliances such as transformers, water heaters, or pumps? Make it a habit to understand any changes on your electricity bill. For more factors that affect your bill, visit www.grenlec.com. Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Welcome back. Economic Development, ICT, Tourism and Creative Economy Minister Honorable Lennox Andrews says government must create its own digital infrastructure if it is to effectively regulate and facilitate economic activities. He said the way forward must be driven by internet and technology. Minister Andrews was delivering remarks at the ICT Week Forum at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. ICT and digitization have been listed among areas of priority for the Deacon Mitchell-led administration as pillars that will promote economic development. Minister Andrews says the trust of government and his ministry is to get to a place where there are no gaps and barriers and everyone will have equal access to technology.
All citizens must have equitable access to reliable and secure internet connectivity and must have smart devices to go online. There must be no barrier to what must be literally considered a basic commodity. Where this gap exists, we must seek to quickly identify and bridge them or remove them in real time. This is the present thrust of our ministry at this point in time.
His remarks focus on the theme Government in a Digital Age, Improving Service, Empowering Communities and Accelerating Development. He outlined 2 projects that will soon be implemented to keep Grenada on the cutting edge and on par with regional and international countries.
The Digital Governance for Resilience project, which we commonly call DG4R, and the Caribbean Transformation Digital Project, CADIP. DG4R seeks to achieve the overall goal of a fully digital public service and society. It aims firstly to build the enterprise architecture and enabling institutional, regulatory, and technological environment to construct and deliver e-services. One is a civil registry, where citizens can apply for birth, death, marriage, and adoption certificates and pay for them online or in person. And the other is a tax administration system where citizens can access core tax services and the government can perform core tax administrative processes in a digital environment that is accessible online at kiosk and in person.
Minister Andrews commended the cybersecurity incident response team on the progress made so far in keeping Grenadians safe and informed as the country moves into the digital era.
An ongoing initiative of my ministry under this project that I must highlight here is the Grenada CSAT Cybersecurity Incident Response Team. Launched just about 9 months ago, CSAT GND has made tremendous inroads and gained a significant and visible uptake in educating and helping Grenadian citizens and businesses stay safer online. The CSAT will eventually morph into a full-fledged national cybersecurity agency. Grenada is also working towards and will soon pass its Data Protection Act, which will lead to the establishment of a data commission. The project will also deliver during the first half of this year a host of digital skills training initiatives done in partnership with the National Training Agency aimed at enhancing the capacity of public officers and the general public so they will acquire the required skill sets necessary to efficiently function and be productive in this new digital paradigm.
And finally in the news, as Grenada prepares to roll out its National Soil Survey Initiative, extension officers and assistants have been engaged in a soil sampling training exercise aimed at building capacity ahead of the scheduled survey. The Grenada Soil Survey exercise will run from 27th March 2023 to April 14th, 2023. This initiative forms part of the Soil Care Project. Under this project, a number of sites have been identified for soil sampling: Les Avocats in St. David, Chambord in St. Patrick, and 3 sites in Carriacou. At the intervention sites, a complete assessment will be carried out and issues surrounding land degradation will be addressed. National Soil Care Focal Point Alison Haynes explains the essence of the soil survey.
We want to do some assessment, assess the area before we implement whatever sustainable practices that we are under the project. So we're going to do an assessment now, a complete assessment of the area, looking at the land, looking at some key indicators for land degradation. Here now, we're going to implement the practices or whatever we're going to implement, and then in a few years from now, we're going to come back and do a similar assessment and evaluate whether the measures that was undertaken here was effective.
Manager of the Soil Care Project, Trevor Thompson, says Grenada is the second of 8 Caribbean islands that will conduct the soil survey. He said it will focus on nutrients, carbon sequestration, and organic matter content. The data collected will be used for the production of a soil map.
For example, if you want to build a house, you know that soil has the capacity to sustain, your building. You're going to do a bridge. If the government going to do a playing field, is it a soil that is susceptible to land slippage, subsidence, etc. So all of those information we would have. We're actually going to do some work to see what are some of the remedial actions we could take to address the land degradation.
Soil scientist and training facilitator Ronan Francis says the training is important for the extension officers' effectiveness in conducting the survey.
For you as the persons going out and meeting and interacting with the farmers especially, and other land stakeholders, it's important to understand the living body that we are walking on and making use of, and understanding its dynamics. There are a few things that we're going to go through today in terms of looking at the structure of the soil, the stability, the organic matter content, the texture, and infiltration capacity, just to give us an in-field understanding of the soil behavior within the different locations. In this intervention site, what we want to do is try to just assess, based on the vegetation, especially the land cover that is here, the different dynamics of the soils in 1 or 2 other locations.
150 soil samples are expected to be collected island-wide, 110 in Grenada and 40 in Carriacou. And with that, story comes to the end of the National Report for Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.
Well, thank you very much, Sherian, and the rest of the GIS News team. And now we are going to take a look at the weather. We can tell you that the weather is expected to be generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief showers possible. Tonight's minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius and the winds northeasterly to easterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas moderate to rough, waves 6 to 8 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells, and a marine advisory is in effect. Now, for Friday, we can tell you that the weather is expected to be generally fair, slightly hazy and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief morning showers possible. Max temperature tomorrow 30 degrees Celsius and a minimum 24. Winds northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 20 it seems like here 14 to 24 miles per hour. And the seas moderate to rough, waves 6 to 8 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells. A marine advisory is in effect for Friday as well. Hello to the folks who are currently on YouTube. Quite a bit of you. Hello to the big screen people. All right, it's Clovey, Keith, Suzanne, Jane, Joan, Rebecca, and all the others. Hermione. Hello to you as well. All right, so blessings to all of you there on YouTube. Likewise, Facebook, we see that you're there. Big up to all the people on Facebook by, yes, doing your thing. Hello to you, all right? It's Chloe, Kireen, Shireen, Hazelland, Suzette, who else? Java and the Sharing Committee, Velma, Praise and Worship, Michelle, Joyous, Bermuda, Delian, Hillary. Blessings to all of you, all right, guys. Claire, how are you? Diana, again, how are you? So, guys, take care, and I'm looking forward to being back with you tomorrow again, God's willing. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja! No! You understand? Blessings. Sometimes we don't say we ain't staying too long, but we love each other so much that we just milk it. Take care, guys. All the best. See you tomorrow, God's willing.